Gopi Janna Bala Girivara Yashodanandana Vrajajanara Tatira Vanaja Yamunatira Vanaja Yodhana Madama Unjambiha Unjambiha Jayodhana Madama Unjambiha Unjambiha Pejamna Vallabha Girivara Pijana Vallabha Girivara Girivara Yashodanandana Yamunadira Avanajari Yamunadira Avanajari Jaya Radha Radha Punjabi Hari Jaya Radha Matma Punjabi Hari Punjabi Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. की गंधर्व श्रीमद भगवताम की ओ प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 16, and text number 34. Correct?
That is
Chitraketur
correct.
Uvacha Ajita Jitta Sammamatibhe Ajita Jitta Sammamatibhe Ajita Jitta Sammamatibhe Ajita Jitta Sammamatibhe Sadhubhir Bhavan Jitatmabhir Sadhubhir Bhavan Jitatmabhir Bhavata Sadhubhir Bhavan Jitatmabhir Bhavata Sadhubhir Bhavan Jitatmabhir Bhavata Vichitaste picha bhajatam Vijitaste picha bhajatam Vijitaste picha bhajatam Vijitaste picha bhajatam Akamatmanam yav atmadoti karuna Akamatmanam yav atmadoki karuna Akamatmanam ya atmadoti karuna Akamatmanam yat atmatoti karuna Chitraketur uvacha Ajita jita samamadhibhi Sadhu birbhavan jitatma birbhavata Vijitaste picha bhajatam Akamatmanam yat atmadoti karuna. This chant. Chitraketur uvacha Ajita jita samamadhibhi Sadhubhir-bhavan jitatmabhir-bhavata Vijitaste picha bhajatam Akamatmanam ya atmadoti karuna. Somebody else?
Chitraketur uvacha
Chitraketur uvacha
Ajita Jita Samamatipi. Excuse
Ajita
me.
jita
Ajita Jita Samamatipi.
Ajita samadhibhi
Sadhubir Bhavan Chitamabir Bhavata.
Sadhubhir bhavanchitatma bhavata.
Ajitastepi cha bhajatam.
Vijitaste picha bhajatam.
Kamatmanam ya atmadoti karudaha.
Akamatmanam ya admadokiti karuna.
Chitraketuruvacha
Chitraketur uvacha.
Ajita Jita Samamatibi
Ajita jita samamati
Sadhubhir Bhavan Jitatmabhir Bhavata
sadhudbhir bhavanchitatma bhavata.
Vijitaste Picha Bhajatam
Vijitaste picha bhajatam.
Akamatmanam Ya Atmadoti Karunaha
Akamamatmanam yat atmatoti karuna. Chitraketu uvacha. Chitraketu said, Ajita, O my unconquerable Lord. Jita, conquered. Samamati bhi, by persons who have conquered the mind. Sadhubhi, the devotees. Bhavan, your lordship. Jita Atmabhi, who have completely controlled the senses. Bhavata, by you. Vichita, conquered. Te, they. Api, also. Cha, and. Bhajatam, to those who always engage in your service. Kama Atmanam, who, sorry, with no motives for material profit. Yaha, who? Atmada, giving yourself. Ati Kuran, Karuna, extremely merciful. Translation. Chitraketu said, O conquerable one, O conquerable Lord, sorry, O unconquerable Lord, although you cannot be conquered by anyone, you are certainly conquered by devotees who have control of the mind and senses. They can keep you under their control because you are causelessly merciful to devotees who desire no material profit from you. Indeed, you give yourself to them, and because of this, you also have full control over your devotees. So, excuse me. Purport. The Lord and the devotees both conquer. The Lord is conquered by the devotees, and the devotees are conquered by the Lord. Because of being conquered by one another, they both derive transcendental bliss from their relationship. The highest perfection of this mutual conquering is exhibited by Krishna and the gopis. The gopis conquered Krishna, and Krishna conquered the gopis. Thus, whenever Krishna played his flute, he conquered the minds of the gopis, and without seeing the gopis, Krishna could not be happy. Other transcendentalists, such as Jnanis and Yogis, cannot conquer the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only pure devotees can conquer him. Pure devotees are described as samamati, which means that they never deviate from devotional service under any circumstances. It is not that devotees worship the Supreme Lord only when happy. They worship him even when in distress. Happiness and distress do not hamper the process of devotional service. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam says that devotional service is ahaituki apratihata, unmotivated and uninterrupted. When a devotee offers devotional service to the Lord without any motive, anyabhita shunyam, his service cannot be hampered by any material condition, apratihata. Thus, a devotee who offers service in all conditions of life can conquer the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A special distinction between devotees and the other transcendentalists, namely the Jnanis and Yogis, is that Jnanis and Yogis artificially try to become one with the Supreme, whereas devotees never aspire for such an impossible accomplishment. Devotees know that their position is to be eternally servants of the Supreme Lord and never to be one with Him. Therefore, they are called samamati or jitatma. They detest oneness with the Supreme. They have no lusty desires for oneness. Instead, their desire is to be freed from all material hankering. Therefore, they are called nishkama, desireless. A living entity cannot exist without desires, but desires that can never be fulfilled are called kama, lusty desires. Because of lusty desires, non-devotees are deprived of their intelligence. Thus, they are unable to conquer the Supreme Lord, whereas devotees, being freed from such unreasonable desires, can conquer the Lord. Such devotees are also conquered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead because they are pure. Being free from all material desires, they fully surrender to the Supreme Lord, and therefore the Lord conquers them. Such devotees never aspire for liberation. They simply desire to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. Because they serve the Lord without desires for remuneration, they can conquer the mercy of the Lord. The Lord is by nature very merciful, and when He sees that His servant is working without desires for material profit, naturally he is conquered. Devotees are always engaged in service. Sabai Manakrishna Padavitantayor Vachamsi Vaikuntha Gananavarnane. All the activities of their senses are engaged in the service of the Lord. Because of such devotion, the Lord gives Himself to His devotees as if they could use Him for any purpose they may desire. Of course, devotees have no purpose other than to serve. When a devotee fully surrenders and has no aspiration for material profit, the Lord certainly gives him all opportunities for service. This is the position of the Lord when conquered by His devotees. Chitraketur uvacha ajita jitta samamatibi sadhubhir bhavan jitatmabhir bhavata viditaste picha bhajatam akamatmanam ya atmadoti karuna. Chitraketu said, O unconquerable Lord, although you cannot be conquered by anyone, you are certainly conquered by devotees who have control of the mind and senses. They can keep you under their control because you are constantly merciful to devotees who desire no material profit from you. Indeed, you give yourself to them, and because of this, you also have full control over your devotees. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Om Ajnanatimranasya Jananjana Shaklakaya Chakshuruntamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. All glories to all devotees, assembled devotees who are very eager to hear the news from Krishna Loka. What is for today for us? There's beautiful weather with beautiful day. So what we need to accomplish, what we need to introduce or implement from this particular text of Srimad Bhagavatam to our life. So we hear today that devotees have very special relationship with Krishna, and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has very special, sweet relationship with his devotees. They both compete with each other to conquer each other. Krishna is doing everything to conquer his devotees. Devotees are doing everything to conquer Krishna. And this competition is going on. Srila Prabhupada gave us an example of gopis who are always eager to conquer Krishna to such an extent that if gopis are not around Krishna, Krishna is not happy. But Krishna, in return, he is doing everything to attract gopis and conquer them. So then when he played his flute, he conquered the minds of the gopis. And this competition is going on and on and on. So this is the sweetness of spiritual world. This is the sweetness, loving atmosphere that we left some times ago because we chose to imitate Krishna. Somehow or another, we make this mistake. And one of the multiple Krishna's energies facilitated us that we can fulfill our desire to imitate the supreme enjoyer, supreme controller, supreme proprietor, supreme creator. And now we are in this material existence, suffering different miseries, birth after birth, life after life, trying to compete with everyone around and conquer them, if not by words, then by some action, throwing at them some bombs or nuclear bombs or whatever. So this is the nature of this material existence, full of misery, full of distress and anxiety. Everybody wants to love and be loved, but there is no atmosphere to love and be loved. In other words, we are hankering for such loving atmosphere of such loving exchanges that living entities can enjoy in relationship with Krishna. But there is good news. If we will train ourselves to become qualified again to have such loving exchanges with Krishna in spiritual world, then we can come back to Krishna and continue our loving exchanges with Krishna. Like Srila Prabhupada mentioned many times, now work very hard, samadhi later, not opposite way, that we trying to put ourselves in artificially in some type of samadhi and then work later. No. First things first. Everything should be in order. This is Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is giving us beautiful order. To do everything in beautiful order. Just to train us how we should regulate ourselves in service to the Supreme Lord, that our mind can be conquered, our senses can be conquered in loving devotional service to Krishna. If our mind is not under our control, our senses are not under our control, and desires are not our control, but rather there is some spontaneous massive desires which are called kama, selfless desires for our own sense gratification, regardless of what type of form it is. Still, this is kama, lofty desires, selfish, egoistic desires to gratify our own senses and enjoy. So this is, in other words, continuation of this mistake that we committed in spiritual world, due to which we are here in this material existence full of misery. But if we will learn the art of bhakti, especially the beginning part of bhakti, which is called sadhana, regulative rules and regulations, and we follow these rules and regulations, and we regulate our mind, that our mind will be under our control, and then will help us to control our senses. So that when we will be able to control our mind and senses, then Krishna will be attracted to us. Whereas if we will be not successful in controlling our mind and senses, there is no any attraction. Krishna will not be attracted to us. And what to speak about conquering Krishna. So these exchanges, these loving exchanges to conquer each other, can take place only when our consciousness is pure. And our consciousness can become purified when we adjust ourselves with all our desires, ambitions, aspirations to Bhakti Yoga process, which was designed for us to purify our existence, to help us uh, help us to regulate our mind in order to have some power over our mind and control our senses. If mind is unregulated, there is no question of controlling our mind. So therefore, if we will be able to regulate our mind, then gradually we can experience that mind is helping us in our sadhana process and many other different activities in devotional service. So if we will be happy to have our mind, help of our mind, so then mind can be also happy that we are helping our mind to control our senses. As we know, senses are very wild, especially when surrounded by objects of sense gratification. So therefore, they can be really wild. And then mind naturally is in big misery. So when senses are wild and mind is in big mess, naturally we, as the passenger of this vehicle, which is called body, is in big distress, in big anxiety. Our life is full of mess. So therefore, if we are so fortunate that we were blessed by causeless Krishna's mercy to have a chance to reform ourselves, to uplift our consciousness to the level of devotional service and train ourselves to perform loving devotional service to Krishna with our controlled senses and mind, then we can become eligible to come back to Krishna. So Krishna, indeed, like Srila Prabhupada explained here, is very kind, is very merciful. If we would be just only receptive enough to accept Krishna's mercy, who is giving us this mercy through his devotees, his beloved devotees. His beloved devotees, they doing sacrifice. They want to be with Krishna in spiritual world and have these long, loving exchanges and conquer each other. But they want to satisfy Krishna by sacrificing this divine pleasure of having exchanges, loving exchanges in relationship with Krishna, and descended to this material world to teach us ABC, to teach us how to become a human being, how to become an infant in bhakti, how to become later baby, later in child, youth, and adult, mature adult, and come back to Krishna. So it is everyone of the listeners of the Srimad Bhagavatam class who are parents, they can see, they can understand how difficult sometimes is to raise a children. They have special needs, and their way of communication is sometimes, difficult to understand. So parents, they should be always on the top to somehow or another navigate everything in such a way that the needs of these little children can be fulfilled, and their life and soul can be maintained. So it's not easy task. It is full of sacrifice, dedication. But Krishna, being a loving father, caring, well-wishing friend, is helping us in many different ways, just to uplift us, to raise us to higher level, that we will be qualified to come back to Him and have this loving exchanges in this loving relationship with Krishna, and compete with each other again, how to conquer each other. And we will be enchanted to hear Krishna's flute, how beautifully he is playing the flute, and we will be hypnotized, and we will get some, how you call this in English? Goosebumps on the skin, or how you call this? Goosebumps? Yeah. So complete enchanted by Krishna's attractive play on flute, and Krishna's smile, Krishna's glances. This is everything very sweet. We can we can have a little bit, um, taste of this when we are bewildered by lusty desires in this material world. Then, when attractive person will give some attractive glance in in our direction, then we are like almost like out of order. What to speak if this person, after a glance, some attractive, bewildering glance, will give some sweet smile, then we are even more bewildered. What to speak if this person start to talk to us, then we forget our tongue in our mouth, and our body is just shaking, and we're out of our mind. We don't know what to say, how to behave. So this is a little bit, a glimpse of understanding when some conditioned souls has such power to bewilder us by sweetness of his gesture or activities. What to speak about Krishna, the source of this attraction. Krishna, from Krishna, everything emanates. All these different attractive features, just glances, smile, beautiful talk, activities, behavior, all Krishna's features, his character, his qualities, his form, his activities, all are very, very sophisticated, very sweet. That when Krishna was walking in the street of Mathura or wherever he was, then everybody was running to just see Krishna. Can we imagine that somebody is so attractive that you just, regardless what you do, you're leaving this and just go and just to see this person? Krishna is so attractive that everyone was not able to resist just to run and see Krishna. Krishna is so attractive. And Krishna knows how to conquer the minds of his devotees who are free from lusty, egoistic desires to gratify their own senses. When they are free from lusty desires to gratify their own senses, they are always eager to gratify Krishna's senses. Then these loving exchanges can take place. So how we can prepare ourselves, how we can train ourselves First of all, we shouldn't think in about our own process, how we can qualify ourselves to have this loving exchanges in this competitive relationship with Krishna to conquer each other. The process was given by Krishna himself because he knows best his needs and his desires. So he accordingly designed such a wonderful process and given to us through the line of disciplic succession. So Srila Prabhupada mercifully gave us, he delineated all this beautiful process in perfect order that we can make gradual progress. My Guru Maharaj was always emphasizing this point. Yes, indeed, it is gradual process, but as gradual as you want to be gradual. So if it depends on the intensity of your greediness to purify yourself in order to gratify Krishna's senses. This eagerness, this lauliam, is special, unique quality of those sincere souls who want to make spiritual progress and come back into this beautiful, sweet, loving relationship with Krishna. So if we analyze the beauty of this Bhakti Yoga process, which is for us, designed for us, custom design, it's not necessary to add anything, just utilize everything what is given to us. This is actually, if we will accept everything when we receive this process as it is, we actually manifesting gratitude. We expressing our appreciation and gratitude to the giver. Krishna is the owner. Srila Prabhupada is the messenger who is giving to us this very valuable gift in the form of Bhakti Yoga process. So in this Bhakti Yoga process, as Krishna many times emphasizing in his Bhagavad Gita, based on devotional service. So we used to say in this this earthly reality that everybody can say something, everybody can talk, but it's more difficult to walk the talk. So therefore, actions speak louder than words. According to this principle, devotional service uh, is fitting to this maxim, that because you engaging your senses, your mind, your intelligence in loving, favorable activities to gratify Krishna's senses, so therefore it is called technically devotional service. Devotional service doesn't mean that we engage our body and this is and that's it, and we are happy. Well, this is type of baby, infant baby type of engagement. Parents can know what I'm talking about. When baby is very little, we cannot expect much from the baby, especially from infant. So then, but in order to uh, control the baby, that baby can have some type, absorption. So then we're giving some, toys that they can play, so they can engage their senses. You cannot engage them to higher activities of, uh, like in material world, they have this puzzles, this crosswords or something, or Sudoku recently was introduced and is getting more and more popular. So you cannot engage infant or baby into such activities of developing the mind because they are not on this level yet. You cannot engage them in some intellectual activities to help other people to benefit. They are not on this level yet. They are human beings, but they are not on this level yet. So gradual process means that they be engaged on the platform of the senses. They engage their body first, senses, and then if they grew up, they will be more mature. Then they can engage mind and then intelligence. So similarly in Bhakti Yoga, we can see that on the very beginning, in order to develop this loving exchanges with Krishna, to purify our existence, purify our consciousness, we want to put our mind under control. Therefore, we practice sadhana bhakti, regulative process. In material world, mainly those who are mediocres, they are not very much inclined into achieve some big success in material world. So they have a habit of being regularly unregulated. And when we were trained for years or sometimes decades in this particular mood to be regularly unregulated, it's tough for us in Bhakti Yoga to regulate ourselves. We need to just like like deprogram ourselves from this regularly unregulated habit and become regulated. But because it is very beneficial, because if we regulate our mind and senses, then gradually we can put our mind under our control. Mind will not drive us crazy, but rather when we regulate our mind and mind will cooperate with us, we become not anymore enemy, but rather our friend. So then we can expect, like we can expect from our friend that can cooperate with us. We can have some cooperative action for mutual benefit or some ultimate benefit that we are striving for. So we want our enemy, our own mind, to make our friend. But how we can do this? We need to help our mind to regulate. So then our mind will help us to control our senses. Especially in Kali Yuga, it's very difficult to control the senses because objects of sense gratification are everywhere. There is no culture. Everybody is just trained how to agitate each other, how to conquer each other in kama, lost the desires, and exploit and cheat and 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 be full of hypocrisy and all this stuff. This is Kali Yuga, what we can expect. But if we will train our mind and senses in bhakti practices, so then we can make from mess very beautiful, blissful situation in our life. And when if we will have our mind and senses under our control, they will be our friends, then naturally our life will be very peaceful and blissful. It is not will be not only very pleasurable, but will be satisfactory for Krishna. And this is what we're striving for. If Krishna see that our mind and senses are under control and we are making an endeavor to gratify Krishna's senses, not in our way, what we think that can satisfy Krishna. Everything is mentioned about him. He himself mentioned about himself in Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavatam is describing him, like Chitraketu explained here about Krishna. Srila Prabhupada explained us about Krishna. Who is Krishna? How Krishna feel? What Krishna's desires are? So if we will just learn and accept this and adjust ourselves, not Krishna and Krishna's devotees to us, but rather us ourselves to Krishna, then order will take place. Then our life will be not mess anymore, but rather peaceful thing in order. And then when it's peace, then it's bliss. There is happiness. There's no other way. So let's help each other, because sadhu sangha in bhakti yoga is meant to help each other. We are on different levels, not very advanced levels, but still uh, within the beginning, stage of the process. We are not the same. Nothing is one, but still some of us a little bit, have a little bit more experience and knowledge. Some of us a little bit less, and then so therefore we are meant to help each other. If someone is better, in waking up and this and that, so let's try. Like you remember this ancient time, some few decades ago, when devotees who lived together in the temple and ashram. So there was no just, excuse me, Prabhu, would you like to come for Mangalarati? No, not this time. Maybe tomorrow. It was not like this. It was just one was responsible to help everyone to wake up. So it was just lights on. There was big bell. Ding, 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 ding. Everybody was just waking up immediately. Stand up, boom. It was like army mode. And we were so excited when we found this statement of Srila Prabhupada that Bhakti Yoga should be performed in the army mood. Wow! Yes, this is what we're doing good. So everybody was excited. We were so prepared to just come to Krishna, like we read in Krishna book. When Krishna, after all these different morning activities, entered the Sudharma, this how is it called? This Sudharma building. Then all the entertainers were waiting for Krishna. As soon as Krishna entered, they start to play and dance. Everybody who was arranged for this purpose to gratify Krishna's senses, they were performing so nicely, even better than all the different events. Sometimes when we go for different events, I'm talking about the old time when we were still in our Maya condition. So then we were going to some, concerts or some performance of some whatever. So then we were fascinated by performance of these people, and then wow, wow. Everything was so packed, so smoothly arranged to gratify the senses of the customers who paid, for the ticket to watch them and be in delight. So customers are the king, that pay the money to just be entertained. But in case of Krishna and Krishna's devotees, Krishna is the king. Krishna is the supreme person that should be entertained. And everybody else, as a servant of Krishna, they're just only waiting. Like we are waiting when it's just when Krishna, when altar will be open, when we will see Krishna, we will just bow down and then perform very nicely and sing and play in harmony and with the tune and we dance. If we don't know how to dance, no problem. Srila Prabhupada give us very simple step, just Swami step. Just do some entertaining activities to satisfy, to gratify Krishna's senses. We have process designed in everything. If we are not skillful, we can develop the skills. Everything is designed in such a way that we can uplift ourselves to higher and higher level. From the level of engaging our body, our senses, we can engage our also mind. There are so many different activities in Bhakti Yoga that we can engage our mind and develop our mind. Like we remember from the nectar of devotion, this Brahmana who engaged himself in Manasa Seva. He was meditating how to cook sweet rice for Krishna. He developed such perfection to such an extent that when he was able to, when he was ready to check if the rice was, enough cold, he put his finger into rice, but rice was still cold, and he burned his finger. It was everything in mind, but still it was so tangible. And Krishna was enjoying this pastime. That his devotee, he mastered the science of engaging his mind in devotional service, that he had this exchange with Lord, Supreme Lord. And Supreme Lord, he was enjoying, he was laughing of the situation. So when we will have such exchange? When? Only when we will develop this absorption, not of our body, but also mind. We can absorb our mind by different practices. We can chant attentively the holy name of the Lord. As we know, Krishna is in his holy name. If we would chant his holy name with full attention, Krishna will also he's very personal. He will pay attention in return. Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, those who surrender to me, I reward them accordingly. The more we pay attention to Krishna, the more Krishna will pay attention to us. We can also absorb our mind with learning different shlokas. This is good development of our mind capacities. We can train our mind to remember Shishirada Damodara during our daily activities. Wherever we go for devotional service, we can remember how they were dressed, how they were smiling. We can engage our mind somehow or another, or remember even the simple sentence, why I am doing what I am doing now. Because I want to satisfy Krishna. I want to gratify Krishna's senses. I want to also have sweet friendly relationship and exchanges with other devotees. So we can engage our mind. It's not only about our body and senses, but also our mind. Later on, when we engage and put our senses and mind under our control, our own control, then we can also navigate our intelligence, which is ability to see things in perspective. If we will help ourselves, then we'll be eligible, qualified intellectually to also help others. So this process is for us. We need to just only embrace and invite everything to our life and utilize this properly. In this way, we can manifest our appreciation and gratitude to Krishna and Krishna's devotees who doing for us the sacrifice that we can advance in this beautiful spiritual lifestyle of Bhakti Yoga. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope that I didn't put you asleep. But if you have any questions or comments, you are very welcome.
Thank you so much for the class, Sir Prabhu. I feel equipped with tools to take on a Krishna conscious day today.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's repeat your question. Is that Jana?
I just was thanking you for your class today. I feel equipped with tools to take on a Krishna conscious day today.
Hi, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your attentive listening. This is the power of attention. The more we pay attention, the more we can learn. It's amazing. Thank you, Jana, for being so attentive. Yes.
So I was thinking that the purport Prabhupada is saying when a devotee offers devotional service to the Lord without any motive, and that word is there again, Anya Vilasita Sanya. His service cannot be hampered by any material condition. So this is the highest level. And of course, we're all on a journey. And some of us, like me, may never reach the stage. So what hope is there? You know, I was thinking one example that, say, someone is starting a family. You're starting a family. And no, it's okay. I mean, I think I'm speaking loud enough. Someone starts a family, and then, of course, the family has a lot of the family has a lot of needs, and how to differentiate what is spiritual needs and what is material desires. Because I mean, the purport Prabhupada is saying, you know, if you have material desires, then that's lusty desires. So, you know, the baby needs food, there's some basic necessities, but who decides what's basic and what's not basic?
Very important question. However, we are running out of time, so we can discuss it later. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Seems like we would have to define what spiritual needs are. What comes to mind is like um e- engaging in Krishna consciousness to gratify my own senses. Um, but my real spiritual need is to serve Krishna. I don't know, just some preliminary thoughts, Dasya Prem Prabhu.